Live, local, late breaking. WMBF News starts with breaking news.
We are still following that breaking news out of Horry County. Police have been involved in a chase with the suspects they say are wanted in connection with a string of recent shootings in the Conway area. Meredith Heline, our anchor, just spoke with Police Chief Joseph Hill just moments ago, and we're going to go now to her with the very latest.
Yes, so about 3 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, we get reports of shots fired in the city of Conway. We rushed to the scene to assist Conway. During that time, a vehicle was spotted and a chase ensued. The vehicle was stolen. We chased that vehicle. One subject was caught inside the vehicle. 2 to 3 subjects escaped from that vehicle and ran into the wood line. What you see behind me is officers setting up a perimeter, locking them down, and the search still continues.
And where was that vehicle stopped? Where was it dumped, where you caught one and the others ran off?
I'm going to say Adrian Road. Forgive me because it's been all over the place. We've been chasing these guys for a while. But Adrian's Road is where we finally stopped the vehicle.
And then again, around what time was this?
This has probably happened 20 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. So it's right around Hucks Road, not Adrian. We're on Adrian now. So Hucks Road is where the vehicle was stopped.
Okay, Hucks Road. And they could be anywhere but Hucks Road along Adrian Highway?
Yeah, it could be along the railroad tracks in the bush line. We have a K-9 team out searching for them, along with about 30 officers from the Highway Patrol, Horry County Police, Sheriff's Department, and DNR.
And on the way here, I heard a code red being sent out. Did the neighbors that live here, I guess, a phone, like a Nixle alert?
Probably. We didn't send it out. Of course, we're involved in the situation, but maybe it came out either from the 911 center or it came out from emergency management.
And then what should the people who live here, who are coming home around this time, know right now?
Sure. Well, what I would tell them is to stay in your homes, shelter in place until we give the all clear. We'll work with the media to make sure that information gets out. For right now, just kind of let us do our job. Do not come outside your house. Stay at home. If you see something, please say something.
Okay, and do you think these men are still armed right now?
We don't know that to be sure, but we're going to consider them armed and dangerous.
Okay, anything else to add?
Nope. I appreciate you guys being out here, and we'll give you an update as soon as we have more.
Okay, thank you, Chief Hill. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.
So we do want to recap what's going on right now. That was just a Facebook Live you're listening to between Meredith Heline and Police Chief Joseph Hill talking about a chase that just ended in the area of Hucks Road and Adrian Highway. And again, all of this stems from those accounts of shots fired near Hemingway Chapel Road. That's just west of Conway. That first incident happened last night involving a woman who was in her vehicle with her child. Gunshots went into her car. And then again today, Audrey Bisk was in that area and she heard at least 10 gunshots go off. So this is all connected to those 2 incidents. I do want to reiterate what Chief Joe Hill said. He said that when they pulled this car over, one person was apprehended inside the vehicle, and this vehicle was stolen, they say. And 2 to 3 people escaped the vehicle after it was stopped. They could be in the area of Hucks Road and Adrian Highway. They went into a wooded area there, so they are still looking for several people in this developing story. Now, we do want to go out to Ian Klein, I believe, who is along Gurley Road. Can we go to Ian right now and see the latest with his location? Ian, what have you learned so far?
Yeah, we are actually about 2.5 miles away from Hucks Road, which Chief Hill was just talking about. You can see behind me you have some officers here. We see Ainer Police also here as well. And as Chief Hill was talking about, this is a fairly residential area, several houses right behind this kind of wooded area. We have a large cornfield. I saw several officers coming out of that way as well. We just saw Horry County Police fly by us just moments before we got live here. We've been out here for about 15 to 20 minutes. Right now, police seem fairly calm, just trying to get a perimeter in this area. I saw several residents outside their home, but you heard Chief Hill saying if you are in this area to go back inside your home because several of these men could still be out armed and dangerous. As you spoke earlier, Audrey Bisk was witnessing several shots in Conway earlier today. So these guys could be armed and dangerous. So if you are in this area, it's important to stay inside. If you see anything, make sure to call police as soon as you can. Do not go towards them because they could be armed and dangerous. You can see some of the officers behind me. Right now, traffic's still moving through 701, so if you are in this area, you can still make your way through this way if you are coming home, but also just proceed with caution. And if you do see anything, please let the police know. We'll continue to keep you guys updated throughout the evening. Reporting in Horry County, Ian Klein, WMBF News.
Horry County police have been involved in a chase with the suspects they say are wanted in connection with the recent shootings in the Conway area. Meredith Heline is live in Horry County right now. And Meredith, I know you just talked to Police Chief Joseph Hill. Is he saying people should be concerned that live in that area right now that are driving through?
Caitlin, I did speak with Horry County Police Chief Joe Hill just about 10 minutes ago now. We're right here at the corner of Adrian Highway. Just a little bit north of us is Highway 701. And when I spoke with Police Chief Joe Hill, he said right now these suspects should be considered armed and dangerous. He's suggesting that everyone in the Adrian Highway area of Horry County shelter in place tonight, be extremely cautious as you're heading home. Now, before we got to that, we were driving along Adrian Highway. We were listening to the scanner in the truck on the way out here. We were hearing Hucks Road, Adrian Highway, 701 railroad tracks as to where these suspects might be. So that's why we were driving here. That's when we ran across about 6 or 7 Horry County Sheriff's Office cars, Horry County Police, Highway Patrol that were all right here, and they've cleared out within the last 10 or 15 minutes, headed back down Adrian Highway toward Hucks Road. We're going to head that way after this. But when I spoke with Police Chief Joe Hill, he said that this search started about 3 hours ago, that it began after that those shots fired happened in the Hemingway Chapel Road area of right outside of Conway earlier today, where our reporter Audrey Bisk actually witnessed. And so a chase happened soon after that. And he said that that vehicle is in fact stolen and that it was left on Hucks Road, and that's where they caught one person. He says right now they believe 2 to 3 people are still on the run. We've heard a lot of scanner chatter of them being along these railroad tracks. And again, this area is being highly policed right now. He said, they're setting up a perimeter, that they did chase them for a while. And again, he wants everyone to stay inside, and that there's currently a K-9 team searching for these 2 to 3 suspects, and that he has 30 officers on the ground in this large area of Adrian Highway searching for these suspects considered to be armed and dangerous. We'll to continue to keep you updated live here on air. For now, on Adrian Highway in Horry County, I'm Meredith Heline. Back to you, Caitlin.
Right now we have Meredith out there. We have Ian Klein out there. We also have Marissa Tancino out there, all trying to gather more information as to this developing situation. I do want to let you know some new information that just came into the newsroom. There were actually 2 shootings that happened today in Horry County. One of those happened in the city of Conway. The other is in the unincorporated part of Horry County. Again, still gathering details, but that's in addition to the one that happened last night, where the woman and her child were in their vehicle and shots were fired at them. We do know, again, I'm going to reiterate what Meredith said, 2 to 3 people escaped from that vehicle during that police chase. After they stopped the vehicle, they ran into a wooded area just off of Adrian Highway, right near the Hucks Road area. So this perimeter is changing, it's shifting, it's moving as this story develops, and we're going to keep you updated on any new information that comes out of this. So stay with us right here in WMBF News.
10 at 6, we're continuing to follow that breaking news out of the Conway area, where multiple suspects are in custody following a shooting and police chase. They are not all apprehended, though. We are live from multiple active scenes with reporters standing by with the information authorities want you to know to stay safe. That's next on WMBF News at 6.
Live, local, late breaking. WMBF News starts with breaking news.
We are continuing to follow breaking news tonight on WMBF News at 6. Suspects believed to be involved in shootings in the Conway area led officers on a chase, ending with multiple people being taken into custody.
And this, as we've learned, there were 2 different shootings today, one in Horry County, another in the Conway city limits.
We have team coverage tonight from several active scenes. First, let's send it to Meredith Heline. She spoke with Horry County Police Chief Joseph Hill. Meredith, what's the latest? What did Chief Hill have to say about all of this?
Hey, Caitlin and Eric, it has been an extremely busy day for Horry County authorities. I'm going to first give you a little background. This all started last night when a woman and her son had shots fired at them while they were driving down Hemingway Chapel Road. That's in an area west of Conway. And then again today, around 1:20, our reporter Audrey Bisk was in that same area talking with neighbors about that violence and how they felt about shots being fired in their neighborhood, when she, another reporter, and these neighbors witnessed again shots fired just feet from her. And then just hours later, these people struck again in the Juniper Bay Road area of Horry County. Now, we came down Adrian Highway and ran into Chief Hill and other authorities here. We're almost to the corner of 701. It's just a little bit west of here. We're currently in front of Adrian Free Will Baptist Church. And when I spoke with Chief Hill, he had a lot to say. We learned some new facts from him today. He said that about 3 hours prior, so probably around 4 o'clock, that chase started after the Juniper Bay Road shots being fired. Police did find out that the vehicle they were in, a burgundy colored car, was a stolen vehicle. And he says that car was ditched on the at Huck's Road. That's a little bit east of here. That road runs in to Adrian Highway. That's where the car was ditched. They had one person taken into custody there, and he told me that 2 to 3 other people then ran out of the car, and that's when this manhunt ensued across the Adrian Highway greater area of Horry County. He said they set up perimeters in different areas, to really catch these suspects. He said that they should be considered armed and dangerous. He wanted everyone to shelter in place who lives in these areas. He said at the time that a K-9 team was searching, that he had 30 officers on the ground. And that was the latest about 30 to 40 minutes ago from Chief Hill. Now I'm going to toss it to Ian Klein, who's live at another area where this manhunt has been going on all afternoon. Ian.
Yeah, I am off 701 right now. Just about 5 minutes ago, me and my photog Michael Walter, we saw several police officers go down McNabb Road, which is just down. If I'm going to step out of the way for you guys can see there's flashing lights down in this area. One of the officers, there's actually a roadway that goes kind of behind that cornfield. That's where we believe the officers just went into. Now, this is kind of a very residential area. A lot of people, a lot of homes off to my side. And as you said, if you see anything in this area, officers recommending to stay in home because these guys could be armed and dangerous. Now, we aren't sure if they found one at this time or if there's someone in this area, but we've seen several, at least 5 or 6, go back into McNabb past that cornfield. Still traffic along 701, still moving smoothly. For now, we're still trying to gather more information as to if these guys are still in the area. We have several officers having a perimeter in this area of 701. Reporting in Horry County, Ian Klein, WMBF News.
And I believe Ian said earlier that he's just a couple of miles from where Meredith was, right off of Adrian Highway.
Yeah, so it's not really a vast area there. They're all kind of concentrated in a relatively close area.
And this string of crimes in Horry County has many of you on edge. We know that. And we've received a number of concerned calls and messages over the past week. And
we want you to know that we are committed to bringing you live, local, late-breaking coverage of all of these incidents. We're taking you back now to 1 week ago today when 3 men allegedly shot and killed a man in a Long's Food Lion parking lot. That was before stealing a car and committing several robberies. 2 of those robberies, one at the Carolina Inn in the Loris area, another across the North Carolina line in Chadbourn. That was caught on camera. You're looking at video of those incidents right now on your screen. And as of tonight, police say they are still looking for those suspects.
Then Saturday, authorities say 2 bodies were found shot dead in the Conway area. This happened in the 4000 block of Highway 19. Authorities say they responded to a home searching for the owner of a found vehicle to find the 2 victims shot dead in a driveway. Those victims identified as Robbie and Robert Ford. Those homicides are also under investigation still.
And then another homicide investigation along Adrian Highway after a body was found in the 4600 block around 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday. The Horry County coroner identifying that victim as Terry Bly. Police say he was found unresponsive in a camper, and we're told a preliminary investigation does not indicate this homicide is connected to any of the other recent incidents.
And then just last night, a car with a 7-year-old inside was shot at multiple times, also in the Conway area. Horry County police say a woman and her child were driving through the 1500 block of Hemingway Chapel Road. When they approached Raspberry Lane, a car was parked in a driveway facing oncoming traffic. When she slowed that car down, because of the position of the SUV, she reportedly saw multiple armed people. Police say another car then approached her, possibly a gray Dodge Charger, shouted at her and began firing, hitting her car about 4 times. The victim left that scene and called 911. When investigating, police say they found a home they believe was where that woman was shot at. Authorities say shell casings were found in the roadway and the yard. We're told this home and a car in that yard had also been hit multiple times by gunfire. Witnesses reported as many as 10 masked people in the yard of that home. Police say one witness indicated they observed a person with a white mask armed with what appeared to be a long gun.
Well, this all brings us to today, where within the past 30 minutes, we've learned there were 2 shootings in Horry County, one in the area of Juniper Bay Road and one on Hemingway Chapel in the city of Conway.
Our Audrey Bisk was covering last night's shooting that we just told you about off of Hemingway Chapel Road when she heard shots fired. Conway PD says their preliminary investigation leads police to believe that those shots fired were not targeting anyone.
They believe that they were fired from a vehicle driving down Hemingway Chapel Road into the air or just at random. Again, though, please stick with WMBF News on air and online as we continue to bring you the very latest details on all of these developing incidents. Horry County Police Chief Joseph Hill said today they are still chasing leads and working hard to bring the suspects wanted in that crime spree and other recent incidents in the community into custody.
He didn't have very much information to report that wouldn't jeopardize the investigation, he said, but he did add that SLED and several federal agencies have joined in on the manhunt and finding those responsible and bringing them into custody.
He also had some news to share regarding the certification of new hires in the police department. Hill says that he received a phone call yesterday notifying him of just what happened.
That's the place where government has to continue to function, to work to support the residents of this community of our county, to be here during and after a disaster. That's what this facility does.
Before that meeting, the committee led with a prayer for the victims of the crime spree and other recent incidents. And before we go to weather, I do just want to reiterate, we don't know how all of this is connected just yet. The robberies, the homicide at Food Line, the other 2 deaths, we don't know if it's all connected.
Today, police are a little confident. They're believing they're moving in the direction of the fact that the incident that happened last night with the shooting with the woman and the 7-year-old with the shots fired into their car, and then the 2 incidents today, one in the Horry County area and one in Conway, they are working to believe that those 3 could be connected, but linking those to the ones last week at the Food Line and all across in Chadbourne, North Carolina, and here in South Carolina as well, that has not been done yet. They have not made that link at this point.
They certainly have a lot on their plate right now. We're going to keep you updated on any new developments. Now let's get to that first alert forecast.
We are continuing to follow breaking news. We've been doing it all day long. This is regarding at least 2 shootings today. One yesterday evening started with a woman and a child in a car. 4 shots in that situation that happened last night. And then today we had 2 more shooting incidents, one in the Horry County area and one in Conway. We have reporters who are spread out all over this area, keeping you covered with up-to-date live local late breaking information.
And then those shootings spurred a police chase when officers noticed a vehicle that they did say was stolen. That vehicle ended up ditching off the side of Highway 701. They did take 1 person to custody, but we know that at least 2 to 3 are still out there on the run. And we do want to go now to Ian Klein, who is live off of Gurley Road, right in that area where this manhunt is happening. Ian, what do you know right now?
Yeah, this area of 701 near Gurley Road has actually gotten fairly quiet right now. This over here, there's a few houses to my right. There were several officers when we got here around 5 o'clock. Those officers heading in this direction behind me over towards McNabb. We saw about 5 or 6 officers pull over. You can see behind me there's a cornfield. We saw several officers go back onto McNabb Road, cutting over towards that cornfield. We're about 2.5 miles from Hucks Road, which is where we were hearing that the first man was apprehended near where that crash had happened. Now, we aren't sure if one of them have been found or if several of them have been found in this area. It's gotten a lot quieter, though. We do still have a lot of officers in this area as they try to set up a perimeter. This is a fairly residential area. If you're familiar with this area of 701, there's houses on both sides. If you are living in this area, police recommending to stay inside because these suspects could be armed and dangerous. But if you see anything or have any information, to call the Horry County Police as quickly as you can and letting them know their location. As of right now, though, on 701, traffic still flowing through. Like I said, though, officers in this area seem to have gone towards McNabb. If we have any more information from this area, we'll be sure to bring it to you. Reporting live in Horry County, Ian Klein, WMBF News.
Okay, we want to reiterate that authorities are saying because we have possibly 2 to 3 people still on the loose and they could be armed and dangerous, they are asking you to stay indoors to stay safe. We are continuing our team coverage right now on WMBF News.
And just about an hour or 2 ago, Meredith Heline talked to Police Chief Joseph Hill about this ongoing situation. And Meredith is live now just off of Adrian Highway. Meredith.
Hey, Kaylin and Eric. I spoke with Horry County Police Chief Joseph Hill about 45 minutes to an hour ago on Adrian Highway. We're almost, if you just go west a little bit more, that's where Highway 701 is, just to give you a little bit of an idea where we are right now. And when I came up to Joe Hill, he had new things to say. He brought up new information that we were able to confirm about this manhunt going on today. And he said that burgundy car that we've talked to you about, that our reporter Audrey Bisk witnessed in that shooting at Hemingway Chapel Road today, is a stolen vehicle, and that is what one of the suspects was caught inside. He told me that 2 to 3 other people ran out of that vehicle and into the woods, and that's when this chase began. He had a canine team searching for those suspects. He says, now this was about an hour ago, about 30 officers that were also looking for them. Again, that car was left on Hucks Road, and they've been chasing them for a while. He said that these people should be considered armed and dangerous, the suspects that is, and that people that live in this area should be staying inside until this situation is figured out, until it is declared safe. Now, when we came here about 45 minutes to an hour ago, there were about 7 or 8 Horry County Sheriff's Office police cars here, and then they have all left. We haven't seen any for about 30 minutes. So we'll continue to keep you updated. And here's a little bit more from my conversation with Chief Hill.
Well, what I would tell them is to stay in your homes, shelter in place until we give the all clear. We'll work with the media to make sure that information gets out. But for right now, just kind of let us do our job. Do not come outside your house. Stay at home. If you see something, please say something.
All right, and we are waiting for Chief Joe Hill to give us that all clear to let us know that everything is safe and sound. For now, reporting live in Horry County, right off Adrian Highway, I'm Meredith Heline. Back to you.
As we continue to follow the breaking news of the day, we want to bring you up to date. Now, it's been a very active 2 days in the latest crime wave we've been covering for you. Yesterday evening, a woman was driving in her car with her 7-year-old child when shots were fired. At least 4 bullets hit their car. Then fast forward to today, 2 more incidents, one in the Horry County area, another in the Conway area. Shots fired in these situations as well. Our Audrey Bisk was covering yesterday's incident today. That's when she actually heard those 10 gunshots fired. She is okay, but this is just the beginning now.
And just a couple of hours ago, around about 4 o'clock, police say they saw a car that matched the description that was involved in those shootings off of Hemingway Chapel Road. Meredith Heline right now is right outside the location where that vehicle ended up ditching, and a couple of those suspects in the vehicle got away. Meredith, what is the latest out there?
Kaylin, that happened a little bit east of where we are now on Adrian Highway. Now, in the past 5 minutes, we've heard a bunch of dogs barking a little bit east of here near a Christmas tree farm that's about a mile east on Adrian Highway from where we're at right now. And the only reason we're a little bit concerned about that, we're going to check that out here soon, is because when I spoke with Horry County Police Chief Joe Hill about 45 minutes to an hour ago, he said he has canine teams on the ground all over this place searching for these suspects that are still on the loose. Now, we'll be live at 7 with the latest update. For now, I'm Meredith Heline in Horry County. Back to you.
And a reminder that authorities are asking you to stay indoors if you are in that area. We will continue to follow this. 30 minutes from now, we'll have another live report for you.
About 2 to 3 people, they say right now, are still on the loose. They are considered armed and dangerous. So if you see them, call 911. Don't try to interact with these people.
Again, though, a very active situation today and yesterday. They are saying at least 2 to 3 suspects is what they're looking for right now, because they did ditch their car and at least 2 or 3 of those suspects got away. So they ran into the woods. They are on the loose, and that is why authorities are asking you to stay indoors. But we will see you back here in just about 33 minutes from right now. We will have another half hour for you. We've had reporters out there all day long. We will continue to bring you team coverage here on WMBF News.
We'll see you back here at 7. Stay with us.
Live, local, late breaking. WMBF News starts with breaking news.
Breaking news after several shootings and a police chase in Horry County. We've learned police in both the county and the city of Conway responded to at least 2 shootings today. But this most recent string of shootings actually began last night when a woman and her 7-year-old were fired at while in their car near Hemingway Church Road. Another shooting happened in that area today, along with a 3rd shooting, this one in the Juniper Bay Road area in Conway. This afternoon, police spotted the car suspected to be involved with these incidents, and the chase was on. Caitlin Stansel has a look at where several active scenes remain tonight. Caitlin?
Yeah, Eric, we have 3 reporters out here in this scene, and I do want to just kind of give you an idea of where all of this is happening. This is about 12 miles north of Conway, just off of Highway 701. This line right here is 701. We have incline off of 701 and the intersection of Gurley Road up here, but we do know that Hucks Road has actually been blocked off to only people that live in that area. We have Meredith Heline at the intersection of Hucks Road and 701, but on the other side near Privets Road and Hucks Road, that intersection is where Marissa Tancino is live. We do first want to go to Ian Klein, though, who has the very latest on this developing situation. Ian.
Yeah, Caitlin, we've been out here for almost 2 hours, and we were told by the Horry County Police Department they were involved in a chase involving those shootings we were talking about in the Conway area. Now, we were told that this came near Hucks Road, which is just behind me, about 2.5 miles. Now, since we've been out here off of 701, things started off pretty quiet. Traffic was still moving through this area. I'm going to step out of the way for you guys to see kind of what we're working with. You can see a little bit further down this road, that's McNabb Road. We've seen a cornfield in that area, and we've seen several officers going into that area. And it's not just Horry County Police. We also have Ainer Police out in this area. This is very residential. We talked about a lot of people living in this area, and the officers saying that if you see anyone, to report it to police and to stay inside your guys' homes because these men are supposed to be armed and dangerous. We were told that when the car crashed initially, one of the men inside was taken by police. However, there are about 1 or several more on the run right now. But that's all the information we have at this time. Still Highway 701 traffic flowing at this time. If we have any more updates, we'll be sure to bring that to you. Reporting live in Horry County, Ian Klein, WMBF News.
All right, and as we continue our team coverage now, Caitlin, as you said, at the area of Hucks and Privets Road, blocked to non-residents in that area.
And Marissa Tancino has gone to that location. Now, Marissa, is this an active scene? We know you're having some issues with your microphone, but we do still want to get out there to you right now for this developing situation.
Yeah, Caitlin and Eric, Hucks Road is right behind me here. I'm standing at the intersection of Privets. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see. This road was blocked off about 10 minutes ago. Now Horry County Police have moved their car and it appears to be open. I spoke with that officer. At that point, they were still allowing people down the road who live down there. However, we were told that the road was blocked at the other side of Hucks Road. At 701. Driving around, we have seen a heavier police presence in this area. We spoke with Horry County Police Chief Joseph Hill earlier about what you need to know about this situation, and here's what he had to say.
Well, what I would tell them is to stay in your homes, shelter in place until we give the all clear. We'll work with the media to make sure that information gets out. For right now, just kind of let us do our job. Do not come outside your house. Stay at home. If you see something, please say something.
And we do want to give you an idea of what this area looks like where this is all going on. This is pretty densely forested. We saw that in that map earlier. Yeah. There are some homes there, but a lot of it is woods.
A lot of woods there, and we also know that chase that began with authorities and the suspects right in that area. And in fact, those suspects ditched their car right about there, and 2 or 3 of those suspects did run off into the woods. So we do know that at least 2 of those suspects were apprehended, but 2 or 3 did run off into that densely populated area.
And the chief, as he was saying, you know, this is a situation that a lot is still happening right now. They are still looking for these people. They are considered armed and dangerous. So if you don't need to go out tonight, just try to stay in your home, lock those doors, be as safe as possible.
It's better safe than sorry in this situation for sure.
Now, all of this after officers with the Horry County and Conway Police Departments, along with ATF agents, investigated several incidents of shots fired in the Conway area. One of those incidents involving our own Audrey Bisk.
Yeah, police say the first incident happened around 7:30 last night. A woman actually reported that she and her 7-year-old son were driving on Hemingway Chapel Road when they saw a black SUV parked in a driveway facing oncoming traffic there. And then they saw armed people nearby. That's when the woman says the SUV just took off, but then another car, possibly a gray Dodge Charger, approached her. And the people inside began shouting at her and firing at her vehicle as well. Police say the victim was able to get away. No one was injured in that incident. During the investigation, officers did find shell casings in the roadway and in the yard of that home. They say bullet holes are still in a car parked there. A witness telling officers that as many as 10 people in masks were in the yard of that home. One was wearing a white mask, armed with what appeared to be a long gun.
Audrey Bisk was in that neighborhood today investigating the story when she heard at least 10 shots fired. She says she saw at least 2 black males in a dark purple looking sedan yelling and then speeding off from that area. She and the neighbors immediately reacted. They called 911, and Audrey has been working with officers all afternoon, giving her statement and details on what she saw. Luckily, she is just shaken up. She's okay. We are continuing to follow that breaking news that we have been reporting since about 4 o'clock today. This has been going on for a couple of hours now.
That's right. We want to toss it out to Meredith Heline right now, who is live in the area of Hucks and 701 with the very latest on the situation there. Meredith?
Hey guys, after Marissa was reporting of the road being shut down here, people not being able to get into their homes, we decided to come out here. Thought it was a little more of an active scene than where we were at Adrian Highway and 701. So right now we're on Hucks Road. I'm right here at Tracy Drive. There's some Horry County Sheriff's officers, deputies down here hanging out by the railroad, just keeping an eye on that scene. Other than that, not much going on here. We're going to keep driving around, seeing where this active manhunt is still going on. But for now, there's not much of an update. 2 to 3 suspects are still on the loose. One was caught earlier today, a few hours ago now, after that chase that ended here on Hucks Road where that car was left. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Horry County, I'm Meredith Heline. Back to you guys.
We want to get back to that active breaking news that we have been following all evening for you. We know that this is happening about 12 miles north of Conway. There's kind of a triangular shaped area of land, of wooded area that law enforcement is actively surrounding and combing through right now for those suspects.
We're doing it as well. We have reporters at each point of that triangular area, if you will. But this all began yesterday evening, this latest crime wave. We have got to point out, though, that there have been so many incidents happening over the past week. No connection at this point, the police are telling us. The incidents that happened that started at the Food Lion last week. They have not made any connection with the most recent incidents that began yesterday with a woman driving in her car with her 7-year-old child, and gunshots were fired. 4 bullets actually hit her car. That was yesterday evening. Then we fast forward to today, and there were 2 more incidents. 10 gunshots known to be fired, at least in these situations. One in the Horry County unincorporated area, the other in the Conway area. And in fact, our own WMBF News reporter Audrey Bisk was covering last night's incident when the shootings occurred today. She was actually in earshot of those incidents.
She's okay. We do want to let you know that, but a bit shaken up. That's why you haven't seen her this evening on air. She went home to, you know, kind of process what she had witnessed there. But she's been working with authorities right now, giving her statement, letting them know what she witnessed. And we do want to say that there is a very large police presence, and that is state, local authorities, federal authorities. We know that ATF is involved in this right now.
We've been told at least 30 officers at one point. We should also point out that after the 3 incidents, the one yesterday and the 2 today, the chase began with authorities. They located a suspect, a maroon suspect, burgundy, thought to be stolen. The chase was on. It ended in a ditch when a couple of suspects at least were apprehended, but 2 to 3, they say, did run off into the woods in this triangular area that we've been talking about. They're still on the loose.
And our Ian Klein is right near that area. He's at the intersection of 701 and Gurley Road. Ian, is it still pretty active where you are right now?
Yeah, it's fairly quiet actually, Caitlin. This is kind of a residential area off 701. I've seen several officers up the road we talked about, McNabb, but behind me you can see officers, Ainer, as well as another officer behind me, just kind of standing around the perimeter. Still a lot of cars moving up and down 701. I actually just talked to residents who lived in a house right up the street, and they said it's concerning when it's this close to your backyard, and I think that's the feeling for a lot of people in this area, especially in this type of quiet area. When you come in this part of 701, it's quiet, it's a lot of homes and residential, there's a lot of farmland in this area, so you wouldn't expect something like this to happen in this area just outside of Conway and also kind of between Loris as well. So the resident was kind of not angry and not worried, but just concerned at how close this is happening and how close this is taking place to his own front yard. But as of right now, people are still driving up and down 701. Police seem to have a calming presence in this area of where we're at. I've seen several officers going into a cornfield near McNabb Road. Within the past hour. About an hour ago, I heard dogs barking. We did hear that there were canine units on the scene in this area. One of those people that were involved in the chase, we were told, was apprehended by officers, but one or possibly two still on the loose at this time. So this being a residential area, if you live in this area of 701, stay inside your home. If you see any activity that looks suspicious, let the police know. But as of right now, residents feeling a little bit of concern, but not letting it scare them in any sense. But if we have any more information or if anything more active happens in this area, we'll be sure to bring it to you live on air and online. We've been streaming this on Facebook Live on WMBF for almost 2 hours now, so we'll continue to do that for you guys. Even if we're not on air, we'll keep it live on Facebook, so stick with us, and we'll let you guys know if we have any more information. Reporting live in Horry County, Ian Klein, WMBF News.
And just into our newsroom, we did just learn that Horry County Police Department is putting up a drone over this wooded area. Again, this is about 12 miles north of Conway, right near 701, right off of Highway 701.
Right, and we should also point out that in the Hucks Road area, traffic is blocked in parts of that area. They are letting residents return to their homes, but for the most part, for regular tourists or motorists, it is blocked in that area. We have Marissa Tanzino out there in that area. We're going to go live to her as our team coverage continues right here on WMBF News at 7 o'clock. Keep it right here. Continuing to follow breaking news for you at 7 o'clock, and there are 2 to 3 suspects at least on the run right now. This followed a car chase that followed some shootings earlier today and last night as well. We want to go to Marissa Tanzino, who is out there. Understandably, she has some problems with her microphone, but we think it's very important to get to her, so please bear with us as we go to her report.
And Marissa's right there at the intersection of McNabb Road and Highway 701, where this has kind of all been happening all evening.
We just pulled up to the scene a few minutes ago. Right now, I don't know if you can hear it, there's a plane flying overhead, circling the area, flying rather low. When we got to the scene, we saw Horry County Police are here. Horry County Fire Rescue, the battalion chief, just pulled up and pulled away a couple minutes ago, and the Horry County Sheriff's Office is here. So quite a heavy police presence. We have seen multiple law enforcement officers drive by. We're still waiting for an update right now from Horry County Police. Last we heard, police want you to stay in your home and shelter in place, but we'll continue to bring you more information as the day goes on. Live in Horry County, Marissa Tanzino, WMBF News.
So you did just see during Marissa's live shot, there was a plane over that wooded area. We don't know if that's connected to this search for sure or not, but that is what's happening during this active situation.
Right, and we do know, according to Horry County Police Department, they are putting a drone up over the area, so hopefully they will have some video of that situation from them. We can't confirm that there will be a drone in the area. We just don't know if that plane was actually connected to this situation.
And of course, we do want to let you know these suspects are considered armed and dangerous. If you see them, don't interact. There's not a curfew or anything right now, but the Horry County Police Chief did say, try to stay indoors tonight. Yeah,
and some roads are blocked in the area as well. So bottom line is, it's better to be safe than sorry. If you can stay indoors, do so. Just keep your television on. We're going to keep you covered all evening long. There is that plane again. We'll be back at 11 o'clock with the very latest from your live local late breaking station.
Late breaking. WMBF News starts with breaking news.
Breaking news just into the WMBF newsroom. Horry County Police say this man is in custody in connection with the Food Lion and Carolina Inn robberies that happened 1 week ago.
Authorities say James Bellamy of Tabor City, North Carolina, is charged with 2 counts: possession of a weapon during a commission of a violent crime, 3 counts of kidnapping, and 2 counts of armed robbery. Within the last 15 minutes, we learned the U.S. Marshals Task Force took Bellamy into custody without incident in Fair Bluff, North Carolina. He'll be extradited back to Horry County to face those charges.
And police also say they found probable cause to charge him in connection with the Fox Bay Road robbery as well. We're told those charges will come once warrants are obtained, and we'll let you know those additional charges and any other updates in this case just as soon as we learn.
But this isn't the first time Bellamy's faced charges like these. Just this last April, Bellamy was charged with armed robbery, attempted armed robbery, and kidnapping, among other charges, after being accused of robbing a Long's Dollar General store at gunpoint.
The incident happened September 28th of 2016. During the crimes, a vehicle was also stolen but later recovered. Again, we're going to keep you updated as this story continues to develop. Now to the other breaking story we've been following for you all day. 4 suspects detained, another still on the run tonight, leading to a manhunt after multiple shootings and a police chase in Horry County. Just about an hour ago, police suspended the search for the final suspect who remains on the loose tonight.
Within the past 30 minutes, we've learned those 4 suspects taken into custody were arrested, and their charges will be released as soon as warrants are served. Be sure to stick with WMBF News as we work to learn who these people are and the charges they'll face.
We are continuing our coverage now with that breaking news tonight. If you watched our shows earlier this evening or you have the WMBF News app, you know we've been bringing you those late breaking updates all evening.
We have multiple crews on scene, both Ian Klein and Marissa Tancino along Highway 701 right now, where the search went on for hours. Marissa Tancino kicks off our team coverage with more on when this all started and what authorities are looking for right now. Marissa.
Meredith, the search was suspended just before 10 o'clock tonight. Horry County Police say that they have searched the area extensively and they don't believe the person that they're looking for is still here. However, they are urging the public to remain vigilant and be on the lookout. Now, police did release a description of the person they're looking for. They describe him as an African-American male who is believed to be wearing a white tank top. And again, he's still on the run tonight. Now, this latest crime wave actually started last night when a car with a mother and her 7-year-old inside was shot at multiple times in the Conway area. Horry County Police say they were driving through the 1500 block of Hemingway Chapel Road. We're told shots were fired toward that car and it was hit 4 times. Then this afternoon, our reporter Audrey Bisk was actually covering that shooting when she heard shots fired in that same area near Hemingway Chapel Road. Conway police say a preliminary investigation leads them to believe the shots fired today weren't targeting anyone, but were shot into the air or at random. Now, we also learned about a second shooting in the Juniper Bay Road area. Though Horry County Police don't believe the incidents are connected, they say a car that matched the description of the one involved in those shootings in the Conway area was spotted, and then the chase was on. That chase ended near Highway 701 and Hucks Road, and 4 people were detained. I spoke with Captain John Harrelson with the Horry County Police Department, who says they're unsure right now if that one suspect on the run is armed, but they did find a firearm that was thrown from the vehicle. Now, multiple agencies assisted in this search tonight, and Horry County Police are still going to look for that suspect that is still on the loose. Now, our team coverage continues with Ian Klein now. And Ian, a lot of manpower went behind this search.
Marissa, that's correct. We've been out here since almost 5 o'clock this evening. Now, we've seen plenty of police agencies out here kind of putting out around that perimeter. We've also seen a ton of them going down Hucks Road, but they weren't just here on the road. We had a lot of agencies in the sky as well. We saw drones, we saw planes as well in this area. Now, the Horry County Police and Horry County Fire Rescue as well as EMS were in this area. We saw the county as well as some canine units. We saw the county sheriff getting involved. The chase ended in this area of Hucks Road near Highway 701. Several individuals, as Marissa said, was detained. Authorities still saying 1 man is on the loose, and as it got darker, obviously it became much difficult for it to search in this area. But the evening they kept on searching. They had airplanes in the sky around 5 and 6 o'clock. They brought that plane out. We also saw drones. And around 9:30 at night was when we saw a helicopter brought in by sled. Spoke to residents in this area because if you come down 701, it's a fairly residential area. Many of them surprised that something like this could happen right in their own front yard. And obviously still one of the most important things is safety. As Marissa mentioned, police say that search in this area, it was extensive, and they believe the suspect has left the scene, but you should still remain aware of your surroundings. Make sure your doors are locked tonight. As they said, most likely he is gone from this area. So that's all the information we really know right now. It was quite interesting to see how many police agencies were in this area, and we're going to continue to try and get more information for you. As Meredith said earlier, try to figure out who these guys were as well as what their charges are. Reporting off Highway 701, I'm Ian Klein. Eric and Meredith will send it back to you.
All right, Ian, and right now we want to continue our coverage in the studio tonight. And Meredith, you were actually out there in the middle of it tonight for several hours, all day long, really.
Eric, I was just like Ian and Marissa. I was out there today. I was on the scene giving updates throughout the afternoon, and I did a Facebook Live with Horry County Police Chief Joe Hill a little after 5 o'clock. And at that time, the manhunt was still very active. We talked near the Adrian Highway and Highway 701 intersection. He confirmed then only one suspect had been caught. Of course, now 4 have been arrested, with 1 still on the loose.
And they could be anywhere but Hucks Road along Adrian Highway.
Yeah, it could be along the railroad tracks in the bush line. We have a K-9 team out searching for them, along with about 30 officers from the Highway Patrol, Horry County Police, Sheriff's Department, and DNR.
And that was earlier today. After that interview, Chief Hill encouraged everyone who lives near the Adrian Highway area perimeter to be aware, and if you see something, say something. In the last hour, though, Horry County Police have said they believe the single suspect on the loose may no longer be in that area.
Today's incidents just the latest in the string of crimes here in Horry County, which have many of you understandably on edge. We've received, in fact, a number of concerned calls and messages during the past week.
And we want you to know we're committed to bringing you live, local, late-breaking coverage of all of these incidents. We're taking you back now to 1 week ago today when 3 men allegedly shot and killed a man in the Long's Food Lion parking lot before stealing a car and committing several robberies. One of those suspects identified tonight as James Laverne Bellamy. 2 of those robberies, one at the Carolina Inn in the Loris area and another across the North Carolina in Chadburn, caught on camera. You see it here on your screen right now. At the top of the show, we told you this man, James Bellamy, was taken into custody in Fair Bluff, North Carolina, charged in connection with the Food Lion robbery and Carolina Inn robbery. Authorities also say more charges are expected in connection with the robbery that happened that same night on Fox Bay Road.
Well, then Saturday, authorities say 2 bodies were found shot dead in the Conway area. This happened in the 4000 block of Highway 19. Police say they responded to the home searching for the owner of a found vehicle to find the 2 victims shot dead in the driveway. Those victims identified as Robbie and Robert Ford. Those homicides also remain under investigation tonight.
Then another homicide investigation along Adrian Highway, this time after a body was found in the 4600 block around 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday. The Horry County coroner identified that victim as Terry Bly. Police say he was found unresponsive in a camper. We're told a preliminary investigation doesn't indicate this homicide is connected to any other recent incidents.
Last night, a car with a 7-year-old inside was shot at multiple times, also in the Conway area. Horry County police say a woman and her child were driving through the 1500 block of Hemingway Chapel Road. When they approached Raspberry Lane, a car was parked in a driveway facing oncoming traffic. Well, when she slowed the car down because of the position of that SUV, she reportedly saw multiple armed people. Police say another car then approached her, possibly a gray Dodge Charger, shouted at her and then began firing. In fact, hitting her car about 4 times. The victim left that scene, then called police. When investigating, authorities say they found a home they believe was where the woman was shot at. Police say shell casings were found in the roadway in the yard. We're told the home and a car in the yard had also been struck multiple times by gunfire. Witnesses reported as many as 10 masked people in the yard of that home. Police say one witness indicated they observed a person with a white mask armed with what appeared to be a long gun.
Which brings us to today with those 2 shootings in Horry County. One on Hemingway Chapel Road outside Conway and the other in the area of Juniper Bay Road.
Our Audrey Bisk was covering last night's shooting we just told you about near Hemingway Chapel Road when she heard shots fired today. Conway police say their preliminary investigation leads police to believe that the shots fired were not targeting anyone. They believe they were fired from a vehicle driving down Hemingway Chapel Road into the air or at random.
Now keep in mind, these are all of the homicide incidents and shootings we've learned about over the past week. Many of them police say are not related, but this does show an increase, Eric, in violent crimes over the past 7 days. Stick with WMBF News on air and online as we continue to bring you the latest details on all of these incidents.